This meeting to order. All right, city administrator remarks. We don't have a one, two, isn't 4 a quorum?
Yes, you do have a quorum.
We've just been used to seeing Philip sitting out there for so long. Now he's up here, we got a quorum. City administrator remarks.
Would you like me to go ahead? I got notes here somewhere.
Yeah, go ahead.
I'll be quick, I know you're in a hurry, sir. On the right page. As far as the listing of the property, on the B board owns on Wallen Ridge there, and went ahead and let the listing expire at the end of last month, and we'll let it set for 30 days, and then we'll renew the contract. Just give you a heads up on that, and that way it'll be fresh and back on the market again. We've had some interest, but nothing market value wise. As far as the bench, was that an agenda item? I don't remember. Okay, we'll talk about that later. We're working with kind of Joshua Youth Sports Association, getting a baseball, softball program going. We'll bring that back to you when we kind of hammer out the details. Mainly they want to help us get those fields in order, pay for new bases, dig up some of the dirt, things of that nature in exchange for reduced or no fees for letting them use the field. And hopefully they'll get our kids involved in that. So that's all I got for now.
All right, thank you. All right, let's go into our public hearing. Hold a public hearing to hear citizens' comments and hold discussion on our Type B Corporation proposed use of sales tax proceeds to fund the following. Number one, fund purchases and installation of secondary outdoor warning sirens in an amount not to exceed $100,000. And number two, to provide funds for the purchase and installation of an additional lighting to the Ellis Carver Park complex and parking in an amount not to exceed $194,000.
Just need to note the time.
3:32.
Anybody from the public, Dan, you want to go first?
Chief, you want to update us again?
Good afternoon. How's everybody today? Hope you're doing well. In regards to item 5A1, just as a reminder, this is this body voted to move forward with the purchase of 2 outdoor warning sirens to add to our existing system. The locations are North Old Mansfield Road at the Water Tower, and then in Wallen Park as well. I have received a requote. This process does take time, and so we've exceeded on the quote on that. It expired, and I've got that, and it's actually better. It's about $400 less. So, and I would be happy to answer any questions.
These are the 2 locations we had talked about in past
Correct.
meetings.
Correct. And the last time that we talked, you had voted to fund this project not to exceed $100,000.
Any questions? I know we talked about that thoroughly a couple months ago, sir. All right, thanks, Chief. Number 2, the lights over at the park.
Public. Since I'm the only public person here, I must speak for the whole city, so I'm encouraging you to do those fine projects. I think it continues the tradition of the excellent projects you've done, so go for it. Okay.
Thank you, community member Knott, we appreciate you. All right. I didn't have any yellow cards. Did we have any yellow cards? Okay, I didn't miss anything. All right,
All righty, good afternoon, everybody. How's everybody doing today?
great.
Good, so I'm here for the hearing on A2 on adding lighting into Carver Park. So I had a chance to work with Dawn over the last 2 months on putting together a beautiful design to light up the parking lot and the trails across the park. If you guys haven't seen yet, would you be able to pull up the picture here? We've done a lot of work around Fort Worth.
I actually went and took these pictures, so these are from my cell phone in Cleburne. So
What y'all have done?
These are pictures of their product live that the city of Cleburne's using.
Absolutely. So just to give you guys some insight, we're a local company. We're headquartered here out of Fort Worth. We do a lot of work around the Metroplex. We've kind of stretched down here to Johnson County and started to do a significant amount of work. As you guys can see, we're at the tax office parking lot, but we're starting to do work with the city of Joshua, hopefully with you guys. The city of Burleson, we've already done some work at parks. But what we're doing here is promoting the opportunity to bring lighting equity into the park without the need to do trenching and wiring. So you can picture it as a plug-and-play solution, very easy and quick to install. You know, in the parking lot, Don and I talked about doing your typical piers that you'll look at on a parking lot. So you'll have raised lights like what you're seeing here at the Johnson County tax office lot. And we lit up a trail with some overhead lights on our design, as well as these bollards here. So these bollards, we wanted to provide an opportunity, same process, lighting equity, but without overhead lighting. Very easy to install, very durable. You guys are more than welcome to come touch it, feel it. Very easy to clean and maintain. And as you can see here, you've got panels on both sides with the finish that you would find on a Teflon pan. So it's very easy to clean. So if somebody sticks something on it, bird poops on it, you can power wash it straight off. So the biggest benefit to what we're doing is being able to go into a park, light it extremely quick. Within a 6-week time frame, we can do the majority of the project. I will say as of right now, the bollard portion of the project, we only have 20 in stock within that 6-week lead time, but the remainder of that would be within a 12-week period. So, but overhead lighting, parking lot lighting, that's all something that we can do extremely quick without trenching and wiring. So you guys are gonna save a significant amount on that, and all of the lights you're gonna see in the parking lot, they're gonna work for 10 to 12 years. So you're gonna plant it like a tree and you forget about it. It's just a light. People typically don't pay attention to street lights too much until they're not working. So our job is to bring you guys lights that work. And that's what we're hoping to accomplish here. So I'll throw the ball into your guys' court and see what kind of questions come to mind.
In 10 to 12 years, what happens?
Yeah, so in 10 to 12 years, the overhead lights, they're a plug-and-play system. So we have what we call a battery management system. It's a box that will go mounted onto a plate underneath the solar panel. It's a very safe system. It's DC to DC. So you just unplug the wire that connects the panel to the battery system, and then you unplug the battery wire that connects to the light fixture. So everything is inside of this box, all the drivers, all the components, all the battery packs. So it's become a one point of failure system. So it's as easy as unplugging the old system, putting the new one in and plugging it in, and it's good to go. It takes less than 5 minutes to do. And the Pro 2,
What's the cost today for one of those battery pack replacement systems?
great question. You're probably looking at about $600 per pack. So it's something that you guys can take into account and budget for already for down the line.
And that picture, so it kind of looked like it was like maybe sunset or whatever, but that was actually close to 10 o'clock at night. What you're looking in the background is actually light from downtown Burleson and all that, but it wasn't a full moon either. So that light that you see on the ground is actually from the 3 lights that they have placed in that parking lot.
On the other, on the picture we had a while ago of the trail,
Uh-huh.
these will be on the ground, so the lighting will be about 3 feet off the ground?
Yes.
How that works?
Yeah, lighting will be 3 feet off the ground. We only put it on the right trail, the right-hand side. They're spaced out about 50 feet apart with 0 dark spots. So the main point is, let's light the trail up, but let's also free up space. You know, typically when you see bollards, they're clustered very close together. This allows you to light the trail without having the need to have so many bollards. How we light up the trail, that's a conversation that you guys can discuss on your own in terms of how these work. You can set them to be on a motion sensor, you know, after the park's closed, maybe for safety reasons, if you want to see if somebody's out on the trail, they'll turn on and off as people walk past them. If you want to turn them off at a certain time frame, you can do that. Overhead lights, what we typically do, the difference between this and the overhead doesn't have motion sensor capabilities. So typically, we'll dim them down from 100% to say 30, 40% when parks are closed, just for safety lighting for the police department. Unless the city requests to turn them off, we can do that as well from a certain time frame. What we're also proposing here, what all of our systems include is called a Fawn Roche Connect antenna. It's one antenna that we put up. You won't be able to see it. It'll be mounted right next to the battery. And it'll control up to 30 of the overhead lights within a 1 mile radius. So two beautiful things with that. It's for preventative maintenance and reprofiling. So when I say preventative maintenance, we at our headquarters in Fort Worth monitor it. Our global headquarters in France monitors it, but you guys as a city can monitor it. So you can see what lights are connected, if there's something that needs to be monitored, or if there's something that's not working. If something's not working, we're always proactive. We let you know exactly what light is not working, and we go fix it as soon as possible. So you're gonna have 8-year warranty, 100% parts and labor included. So if something happens to the streetlights within that time frame, we come out ourselves from the factory and we fix it.
Why did you not do the ballards all the way around the entire walkway?
It was just a preference of what we talked about of potentially balancing it out. It doesn't mean that we can't go back and redesign, but when we started looking at perspective of budget, if we started to look at adding more bollards throughout the remainder of the trail, odds are that it would probably exceed the budget by quite a big margin, just because even though these are cheaper, it would take more lights to light up what we can do with the street light. You know, with one street light, we can light up 150 feet with 0 dark space. With these, it's gonna take 3 of those to do the same job. So cost usually is a little bit more friendly with the overhead lights.
Did you happen to price it out to do the streetlights all the way around it instead of the ballards?
Could we do that?
Did you price that out or not?
No, I just priced it based off of doing the split standard here. And then as if you look at your quotes too, I know it says not to exceed 194,000. Well, when I go in and requote that, that $80-ish difference will come off of the quote as well, so that we don't exceed that margin.
The bollards are solar as well?
Yes, sir. So
Where's,
the solar panel, you're gonna have it on both sides. It's gonna be this black panel that runs across here, and you have it on both sides. The reason we designed it that way is because with bollards, you need something that's southward facing at some points. Whether it's southwest, southeast, or directly south, having the panel on both sides means that no matter where we install it, one of the panels is always going to be southward facing at some point of the day. So that's gonna make sure that the bollard is charging at the capability it needs to work for the time frame it's made to last.
and that light shines down?
Yes, sir. I know you won't be able to see it as well right now. Would it be possible for us to turn off a light in here, just momentarily?
Yeah, right behind you.
So, as you can tell, it's downward casted light. It's meant to just light a pathway. So I don't want to flash anybody's eyes, but we've got a custom optic down here in the bollard that's meant specifically for pathways. That's why we're able to spread them out so far. You've got this opening in the back that allows some backlight to come out of the bollard as well. And this is an RGB strip. So this can be programmed to whatever you want it to do. If you want it to light up red, white, and blue for the 4th of July, you can do that. If you want to put it as the city colors for the city of Keene, you can do that. It's meant to add a touch of beautification to your park. And I think it's a really good opportunity for the city of Keene to have the park that everybody in Johnson County talks about.
And for what it's worth, I know this is kind of new technology and there's always that little bit of hesitancy. But I would say, I'd recommend, I guess, is, you know, we can always start with just the parking lot and just see, you know, kind of like Cleburne did. They started with a few to test it out and look at it and kind of solve a problem in the meantime, and then we can circle back to the, how we want to finish out with the remaining amount of money that you guys earmark for it.
Does anybody else have some questions that come to mind that I could help address?
What's the warranty on this one?
So these are gonna be different than the streetlights. They're a 5-year warranty, same thing, 100% parts and labor. The beautiful thing, though, is the components inside can be replaced. I don't have a cost on them right now on what it costs to replace, but I can tell you it's not gonna be $600 like the overhead lights. It'll be significantly cheaper. And just so you guys are aware too, we, as a company, we've been around for almost 16 years now. I know that's a very important factor when people are looking into trying a product that they would consider new. So we've been here a very long time. About 90% of the work we do is direct with municipalities, and we've been growing significantly. So I would plan for us to hopefully be here another, 20 years and beyond that, based off of what we've been doing so far across the globe.
So since you've been here so long, how many of these have you installed and how many have needed repair, like average?
So, great question. This is a new gen of the bollards. We had a different generation before. They're a little bit smaller, a little bit less durable, and they didn't work as well. And so over the last 2 years, our global headquarters in France has dedicated a lot of time to engineering and designing these specific ones. We've probably got about a little over 300 installed so far. But what we do is we never roll out anything without knowing that it's going to work. Every time we design a new light, it gets tested very thoroughly at our global headquarters. They have a whole research and design facility that I got a chance to visit in October. And so you can picture it as going into a Google headquarters or a General Motors or a Ford, where all they do is dedicate all their time to testing and designing new solar-powered street lights, and only street lights and ambient lighting. That's all we do. So they're very good about ensuring that a product has good capabilities before they're comfortable rolling it out to the market. So this is one of our newer products, but our street lights have been around for over 15 years now.
And on this model,
Uh-huh.
you said it's 2 years average, that you rolled it out? You've been installing this model?
No, so they designed it about over the last 2 years, and it's been about since June to July of last summer that they've begun installing them.
Have you had any repairs on them?
No, not that I know of currently, no.
What are they built of?
So these are going to be aluminum with a steel plate at the bottom. So they're meant to be able to mount directly onto concrete if you choose to do so. You can use a foam mixture that expands and gets hard like rock and bolt the template onto it. Or if you are familiar with installation of lighting, we're also using what we call Pelco foundations. So it's basically like a foundation that you can drill straight into the ground and mount that directly onto. So it makes the installation process quicker and easier.
What installation do you use as a part,
The Pelco installation is what we're doing, yes.
Do these have like a light pollution rating or anything? The valve, not the valve, but the other ones?
So the lights that you see here are all dark sky certified, so you will not have any light pollution in the sky. Everything will fall beneath a 90-degree angle.
Cool.
Any more questions? Thank you.
Thank you,
Appreciate it.
guys. I appreciate it.
All right, now we're at a spot where we can take, review, consider, and possibly take action on public hearing items. So back to 6A, do we need to
Time.
do what?
We're closing it.
Oh, at 6:48, make that 3:48.
I said 6:48.
We got to go.
Exactly. So out of 3:48, I would entertain a motion to approve the outdoor warning sirens not to exceed $100,000, if there is one.
Motion.
A motion,
Second.
and a second. Any more discussion on those lights?
The lights or the siren?
I mean sirens. I know. All right, if not, all those in favor? And it passes unanimously. All right, any action yet to take on 2, which would be to provide the funds for the purchase and installation of additional lighting to the park and an amount not to exceed $194,000.
When would be the time to talk about this more? After we get a second?
Yeah, if we're gonna do it today, if we're gonna talk about it today, it would be.
I move to accept them.
All right, we got a motion? And a second, now discussion.
I'd like to see a price to do not the ballards for the rest of the way around. I'm a little concerned about the ballards, kids kicking them over at nighttime, vandalism, things like that. It's just my personal opinion. There's a lot more ballards than there would be lights, which means there's gonna be a lot more maintenance. You could take your maintenance and double it or triple it. I don't know how many there are. I just would like to see a price to do the light standards around the, it's my opinion.
Still staying solar.
Still saying solar, yes, uh-huh.
I agree, I'm kind of
Would-
iffy about this.
Would you want to see solar towers that do the 150 feet?
Whatever they're putting on the other half is good, and I mean, if it's good enough to go on the other half of the walking path, why wouldn't it be good enough to go on the entire walking path?
That's what I mean. So still going with the solar route, but more the aerial.
Yes, correct, uh-huh.
Well, you've got 11 of the Opera single poles, you know, in that lower. on
Is that how
lower-
many there are? Did you
that
count
lower
them?
tra- No, it's in the spec.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Yeah, so how many would it take to do the entire thing in that?
Well, he's saying a bollard, Opera light replaces 3 bollards, so I guess.
3 to 1, yeah.
3 to 1, yeah.
15 or 16, I suppose,
Well, and that's kind of why I said.
if you want that much light out there.
I mean, I think they look good, for sure, but that's why I was saying maybe we start with kind of addressing some of the bigger areas with the lighting first, and then we can circle back to the pathway lighting.
Yeah.
We definitely need lights in the parking lot. We have 0 right now. There is some lighting on the trail right now. It's not very great. It's, 30 years old and been there a long time.
I noticed your drawing had a dark area in the back corner that either didn't have any ballards or,
Yeah, I don't know why that one little spot kind of in
Is
the
it real
corner.
steep or something?
I don't know.
Yeah, so the reason I didn't design for bollards in that section is because I personally went out and walked the trail because I never want to sell a product if I don't know for a fact it can go there.
yeah.
So I wanted to walk around and make sure that there wasn't, too much shading or anything like that. And in that area, I was seeing a bit of shading as well as the slope of the hill. I didn't feel comfortable putting bollards there and ensuring that they would work.
But if we went with the light standards, would that work there?
That would be different, yes.
That would be different.
Would you be like to modify your motion to approve the purchase of the parking lot lights
Sure.
on further review for the rest?
Would that work?
We can do that, Caitlin.
Or,
Just approve partial funding?
Yes, it'll still need to be seconded.
Right.
okay, I'd like to change my motion to accept funding for the parking lot at this time and maybe bring it back with a new updated quote for the entire walkway and the higher lights. I don't know what the term would be, but the light standards.
Overhead.
I need a second.
I'll second that.
All right, any more discussion?
What if we started putting those higher ones in the back? This is the back area against where the animal control used to be right down there. What if you, tested a couple back there with this order now?
Is your microphone on? I can barely hear you.
I said, what if we, with this order now, instead of just the parking lot, we put lights on the back end of it where the animal shelter used to be? Like the kind that Mr. Donnie wants back there? To see how it looks and how many we would need back there?
He can work up that quote with getting, like I said, there are a few out there, but they're quite a ways apart and they're not that great.
Those are the old ones, right?
Right, that are up there right now.
But we don't have the cost of what you're talking about.
Yeah, so if we add that to the cost of the ones in the parking lot area, and go ahead and approve that with those. And then if we don't like those, if those don't seem like they light enough, or you want to go with something else for the rest of it.
In other words, test it out, kind of
On
in
the
a
back
darker
area.
Do you have kind of a rough per unit price of what a pole costs to install?
For the bollards or for the streetlights?
For the street
Streetlights.
lights?
For the streetlights, it varies. It's gonna depend. Parking lot would be a different cost than the trail. Because the parking lot, it would depend upon if, Mr. Mine is able to use his contractor to pour the concrete. If we're doing everything turnkey ourselves, it's about 3,600 per pier. So that includes us testing the soil, pouring the pier, letting it cure, and then installing the pole on top of it. For the trail, you're looking at about, for direct burials, about 2,500 per pole.
And how much is the pole?
I want to say, does anybody have the quote in front of them right now?
Yeah.
I can, oh.
I don't have any prices.
Because if we can figure out kind of a rough
Yeah, rough number.
cost,
Yeah.
then we can figure out how many poles we can move forward with, and
So for the parking lot lights, it's going to be the first line item you see for the 4 lights, at $4,254 per light, bringing that portion to a total of $17,016.
That number does not include the concrete ballards. I mean, not the ballards.
No,
the
this is
concrete.
just for the street light, just for the material.
So if we voted on this today as you wrote it, we'd still have more expenses for concrete. Is that right?
Yeah, so the reason you're seeing a lower price for the concrete here is because we discounted the product to fit within your guys' budget. But typically what it costs us to do a concrete pier is about $3,600 to install that with the street light on top. So we pour the 3-foot pier, let it cure, and then we come install the street light on top.
so it would be an additional 14,400
And then we have,
concrete piers for the pole, for the 4 poles in the parking lot.
If
Eh.
they poured the concrete.
If they pour the concrete, it just kind of gives us a rough number. And then if we know that it's about $3,600 per
so I actually
concrete pier
did,
plus the
yeah.
light, we could add X amount for additional lights in the park to address the darker areas for now.
I put together a rough quote, because Don and I had talked about potentially doing that. And off the top of my mind from how I remember it, and I can pull it up on my phone, if we did everything turnkey ourselves, just the parking lot, it was gonna be about $47,000, installation, antenna, all the street lights. And if we didn't, it was going to be, let me grab my phone in 1 second. If the city took upon to do the piers themselves and we just install the lights on top, the total was going to come down to $39,396. And that's including the shipping, the handling, the programming fees, all of that stuff.
And that was for 4 lights?
Yes, and they're going to be, I believe here, let me double check, the twin system, so it's gonna be very similar to what you see in the Johnson County Tax Office lot. Yes,
So the ones that are just facing forward with just one light, they're different costs.
correct.
So that's kind of what we would need over where the walkways are in the back anyway.
Do you have a quote in here for the lights used over the walkways around the soccer field? Which one would that be on this quote?
Yeah, that would be, the system that is about 2,800 for system. So another thing to take into account, we offer tiered-based discounts, so the more units, the lower the cost gets. So I would say, more likely than not for this system, I wouldn't see it exceeding probably about 3,500 per system if we were starting on a smaller scale.
Trying to find that on here. I don't see it.
It's the very last one on the back page.
The 2802?
Yes. Where you see 11 units.
Uh-huh. Okay. So I could,
So there's a little packet in it. Would it be more like this system? Like a one?
Yes, the design would be like that system, on the one light as well as the twin system. And if you guys preferred the appearance of what you saw in the Johnson County Tax Office, it's called the Bella Epoch fixture. All of our fixtures are the same cost. So just because you want something that looks different aesthetically, we don't change the price on it. We keep that the same price.
Just one thing to kind of keep in mind, if we're talking about lighting with the light towers on the back trail, kind of on the first side where the bollards were, you know, we're also talking about in the future doing a skate park there. So that will need lighting as well. So I don't know if we would maybe hold off on the trail lights until we got lights on the skate park, because that's where the skate park would most likely go, would be in that back area. So
What if we
just
did
a
the
thought.
parking lot around the soccer field? What's that? Stick with the parking lot?
Yeah, the soccer field and parking lot.
So I'll modify, I don't even know what the dollar value is, but I'd like to amend my motion. To include the cost of the lights of this, around the soccer field and the parking lot, and hold off on the ballards right now until we can get an updated price and see how the other lights work.
Okay.
I don't know what the value is on that.
We got a second? I second. Any more discussion? We're done. All those in favor?
Does that work?
And 4-0.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank you
guys.
very much.
Appreciate it.
All right, minutes. If you had a chance to read the minutes, I'll entertain a motion when you're ready.
Abstain.
Was Beast in the second?
Yes. All right. Moving on, receive an update on current projects from the park, the skate park, community gardens, and the Matthew Davis Memorial Bench.
Good afternoon. Okay, Luzerazo Park. I want to save that one to the end because that is going to be these two long sheets. Skate Park, the request for proposal is in legal and financial for review of the process. Both Luzerazo and the skate park are awaiting council approval by resolution. The community gardens, Jovita Canyon and Nature's Open Door Outreach. That is also with legal, we're creating the agreement for use of the property. The Matthew Davis Memorial Bench, the bench is in, the pad is poured, we're just waiting on the plaque, and that'll come in anytime between tomorrow and the next 2 weeks. Matthew's mother has the link to upload all the pictures and all of his story and everything she wants. So as soon as she's done with that and we get that plaque in, all that's gonna be installed. Back to Luzarazo, you guys had asked for some quotes on kind of what things would cost to start that park up. We concentrated on fencing and sidewalks mostly, but with fencing, it's gonna run approximately $21,600 for 900 linear feet of commercial grade fencing. And that's keeping the whole front open, just fencing 3 sides. The sidewalks to go from the corner to the parking spots and then around that corner to the first driveway, roughly $27,000. And then, of course, doing like any pads or anything like that for benches. So I've got $27,975 approximately. The rest of these are benches, trash cans, barbecue grills. The second page, and I'm sorry that these are so small, but there's a lot of information on there. The second page is just some wish list items like seesaws, merry-go-rounds, swing sets, getting those broken out so you can kind of see what that's gonna cost and you can pick where you want to start.
Please remind me what we have in the budget for this?
I believe you allotted 50,000.
Correct.
Don, can you remind me where the sidewalks were gonna go from? Where you- if we just- Kevin, where
Mainly
you
would
go?
start at 4th Street, not 4th Street, on 4th Street, come down 4th Street on the north side from Shady Oak to the edge of the park. So it wouldn't really take you into the park, and I want to say that was about, I think it was 12,000 or something like that. And then to go like up Shady Oak to like that first driveway, that way if somebody was walking down Shady Oak, they could go up their driveway and stay out of the street on 4th Street. Those two together were about 20,000 just to get it to the edge of the park. And then if we wanted to go further into the park, well, then it would cost more, and you have to cross that drainage ditch, so there's gonna be, some cost there as well.
So the drainage ditch is not included in this one yet?
No.
So you stop at the little drainage area?
Right. Just, again, that's just a rough price. If we wanted to go farther, there would have to be some type of bridge or something, or, to get that water to go underneath
He
it.
loves his bridges.
So we're kind of looking for direction on which way do you want to go right now? I mean, what do we want to concentrate on? Right now you said, hey, 50 grand, let's go ahead and get started on something. We talked about fences. We got your price on that for a 4-foot high fence around 3 sides was, $20-something thousand there as well, so.
Is it chain link fence?
Yes.
Yeah, it's similar to what they did across the street at the pickleball court. It's not your, Home Depot fence. It's a little sturdier and stronger.
Yeah, so why fill
I
it?
know.
It's not gonna cross all the way through.
And that drainage ditch is actually something that the city's gonna have to address at some point because it is washing away. And my initial thought was there's a little extension there, but you can't have the sidewalk go right up against the road. So there's really no way to connect it to that current drainage ditch, so.
In my opinion, and I'm not an engineer or anything, it's a waste of money to put the sidewalk there right now. I mean, that whole road has to go.
I did meet with a lady that lives on the other side of that, and she takes her grandkids over there, and she was watching everybody, milling about the park and getting these estimates. She's very excited that something's gonna go in. Her grandchildren come over a lot, I guess, and they play in that park. So
Can you tell us more about the swing set?
swing set is it's a single post 2 swing seats, regular seats, and then that does include an arm for 1 toddler swing.
But it doesn't include the toddler seat.
Yes, I'm sorry, that's with the seats, the toddler swing, and the frame.
Okay.
And Dawn, just curious too, I know we also earmarked money for sidewalks. Couldn't, when we go to do a sidewalk, couldn't that come out of the 200,000 they earmarked for that?
Sure.
Okay, I'm just saying it doesn't have to come out of the 50,000.
Correct.
Okay, so keep that in mind too.
If you do the swing set, do you also need to do the ground cover?
Technically, yes. I don't believe our other park has that, but to be compliant, we do have to have recommended ground cover, which is the rubber mulch.
What do you think, Ricky? Dr. Stevens, what do you think?
Well, we haven't talked about the lighting at all, but I look at, get the lighting, the fencing, the swing set, and the ground cover, you're under 50.
Do you see lighting in there? Where's
Yeah,
lighting?
the first one, the top left corner, of that page you're
Oh,
looking
I didn't see the lighting.
That's putting solar lighting in based on,
at.
yeah.
So you're under 50,000 for lighting, fencing, a swing set, and ground cover. That's, I mean, to me, that'd be a great start.
That will, and then we can set a little piece apart for Mr. Not to go in, because, like,
Okay, I have a motion.
All right?
I'd like
No,
to move.
sorry.
I don't think we can.
No,
This is
no
just
motion.
discussion, it'd be next.
You can give direction,
But I want to make a motion.
but you can't.
Okay. For around 45,000, we can do the fence, the swing, the picnic tables, the trash cans, the ground cover, and the lighting for around $45,000.
And we would rather have fencing than picnic tables and those types of things first?
But if we.
We
if
can
for-
do all of
We
them.
can do all that. We can do fencing, swings, picnic tables,
Oh.
trash cans.
I should have said none of this does include installations.
Why wouldn't that include installation?
I don't have the price on that.
so there's 5,000 first.
So I think we'd like for next month to possibly have an action item to approve this, I think. And we can pick and choose from it.
It's kind of, what do you want to see first?
Ground
Fence,
cover, fence, light.
fence, swing, picnic table, trash cans, ground cover with the swing, and then lighting.
Okay.
And I added those up there at 45.1 before, I guess, the installation cost.
Paul?
Surely the fence includes installation cost? Okay.
Yes, the fence would.
And then, Mr. Knott, you gonna do the labyrinth as well?
Yeah.
If you would just walk the labyrinth enough.
It'll be a,
Dive below your feet.
What purpose does the fence serve?
well, I guess if I took my dog there, I mean, you have a valid point, but if I took my dog there, I could, if he got off, I'd have a 1 in 4 chance of getting him back.
Or if you took your kid off the leash, you'd only run so far.
There's, out of those homes that are over there, there's only one that has a fenced-in backyard. So we want to keep people in the park and not going into somebody else's property.
Plus, I think there's a wet area, pond-type area. You don't want any kids going in.
Along the backside, correct, to the north.
All right, so if y'all bring that to us next month, we'll be good.
Yeah.
Thank you for doing that. All right, we need to review, discuss, and consider recommending to the council the reappointments of Mr. Beeson, Mr. Gailey, Mr. Heinrich, Ms. Youngberg, 2-year terms ending in March, or consider recommending appointing someone from the application pool, which includes Mr. Easley, Mr. Finley, and Mr. Castro. I would take a motion to, whatever you want to do.
Vote on myself.
The only one I've not gotten confirmation from is Mr. Heinrich.
He called me a while ago, we'd already started, I don't know if he called anybody else.
He-
So,
Yeah, he just wanted to say he was sick and not feeling well, that's why he couldn't make it today.
I mean, you can still recommend his reappointment,
Right.
but I don't know if he wants
It's
to.
kinda weird, because
Do
y'all
we-
two are over there, I can't make a motion.
Do we have an
Oh.
opening on this board or not?
No, you're currently full, but the four of you, your terms are expiring.
Yeah.
I think you can still make a motion.
I make a motion and nominate myself.
I
Sounds
nominate
like
Mr.
something.
Are you nominating all four, are you nominating the four redos? Daniel, Heinrich, Nellie, and Mr. Weeks, is that the motion to re-nominate all four?
Is that your motion?
No, I can't make it. Is that what you're saying?
Well, can
You just said your own self.
he said he didn't want to nominate himself, so I said I'll nominate him to
So
continue.
you can't.
I can
you
nominate
can
you both.
yourselves.
Kind of,
Totally legal.
All right, Jack, you're gonna nominate the four reappointees?
Philip, come on, take charge, Philip.
Okay. I move that the EDCB Board recommend the reappointment of Donnie Beeson, Daniel Gathings, Gary Heinrich, and Nellie Youngberg for a 2-year term ending March 2028.
Thank you. Do we need to have a second? Everyone
I
needs
guess we have to.
Can't get me. Ms. Youngberg, the second. All those in favor, raise your right hand. And it is unanimous, it is 4-0.
Kind of awkward, huh?
All right, hopefully there's nothing to go into executive session, because I was not aware of any, wasn't there? All right,
Move to
any
adjourn.
future agenda items that we'd like to have on there besides the park?
The park,
I want to say I appreciate the updates. They were good to be able to have those updates on all those parks and have some
Yay.
actionable items. Thank y'all for doing that. Appreciate it. A motion to adjourn? And a second?
Second.
Thank you.
See me on the road to the light can.
Time.
Paul, you design
Time is 4:16.
design a labyrinth for the park?
I can have one by next meeting.
yes, please.
I know the cost of it.
Sure, I've got the footprint. What I'll do is the actual design and the cost.
If we want to get it into the design, we better start now. Otherwise, it'll build up.
Philip, good to see you, man.
Yes, thank you, Rick.
Thanks for coming.
Okay.
You guys head to basketball.